Well, that. And it says we're live.
Yeah, lies.
That's my favorite part.
Yeah.
Well,
it made a few, but the coffee pot, she is dead.
it's done taking itself right off the census.
Yep.
John had that
It's
all
outside taking a leak.
organized.
As always, support. Buy us a new coffee pot.
Yeah.
Because God knows we can deal with the out heating or air conditioning, but coffee. As always,
Where's the coffee card?
support King Harvest, even though 10 scoops of their blanket fort just went away
Well, because
all over the floor. So tell them that you heard about it here. Maybe they'll send us more coffee. And of course, sorry, Facebook still blows underage goats.
And he can't get his act together.
I lost coffee.
I know.
Coffee went bye-bye.
You don't have to remind me.
10 scoops of coffee went all over the floor. That's just not right.
traditional period of mourning.
Moment of
Morning.
silence.
I'm thinking of the song.
Okay, and we have a full blanket fort this time, folks. It didn't shatter. Something happened. The first pot I tried to brew the basket that holds the filter with the grounds in it, the little who's my goose it that the
Plunger.
yeah okay plunger the plunger and hole, the plunger didn't plunge. It stayed unplunged and then it overflowed. So I fixed it and I cleaned out the who's my goose it, and it should have been okay. This time we poured the water in, it's just right out the back, right out of the.
So it broke it.
It is a former coffee maker. It is pining for the fjords.
Well, in the house today, we have Waldbanger and his wife. Ben Hunziger is here from Ohio. We have Cedar.
Hello.
We have a Sanford
He
somewhere.
went outside. He
Oh.
retreated.
Requires chemical.
The people that said they were going to be here aren't here.
Didn't make it.
Travel time. You
Oh,
never
and,
know what's going
yeah.
to happen.
RK and Mikado are 5 minutes out.
Oh, good.
So, yeah. And I had to make a speed run up to Oklahoma City today for another physical, which turned out I didn't have to do, but I needed an x-ray. And I made the mistake of asking them to check my shoulder. That was not fun.
It never is.
They bent me in ways I couldn't bend when I was 21, much less 71. But on the way back, it was kind of interesting because I'm kind of running a little quick to get back for this. But
Quick according to Howard or quick according to you.
Yeah.
quick according to me.
So triple digits.
And
How was the red shift when you crossed the red?
Well, I saw this little red thing in the right lane up
Oh,
there.
no.
You know, and I'm trucking along. It's like, the hell is that? I know my eyes are bad, but what the hell? There's something in there. Ah, shit, it's a lawnmower. A friggin'
The
push
lawnmower,
lawnmower is sitting in the right lane.
Someone who was going along and it just popped right
You-
out of the back of their
You
truck.
didn't stop and get it?
No. About 4 miles down the road, there's this guy with a truck with a trailer, and he's standing there like this, looking back up the road. It's like, you know, I slammed on the brakes. I went, it's 2 miles back if it's still there.
If some semi doesn't wear it as a hood ornament.
That's probably what happened to it. I mean, you don't expect to see a freaking lawnmower sitting in the right lane.
No, not so much.
Armadillos, yes. Lawnmowers, not so much.
Yes.
The occasional emu, sure. Peacock, why not? Lawnmower, suddenly lawnmower.
Yeah. That's exactly what it was.
And considering you were probably doing 130 miles an hour,
No, I was not.
I'm sorry, 125. My bad.
Yeah. Yeah, mattresses. I've seen a mattress in the lane before.
Sheets of plywood.
Sheets of plywood. Yeah.
Yeah, Sir Brass said at least it was in the proper lane and not the passing lane.
Yeah. That's
That
true.
seems to be a thing down here. They don't like you and just hanging out in the left, do they?
No,
No.
you're not. You will get run
No.
over.
They will ticket your ass.
I have a car that will do the running over.
Yeah, they will definitely write tickets. Not as bad as Ohio, however. That's the only place I've ever gotten a ticket for 56 and a 55 going downhill.
Which community was that, Jim? So I can tell. I can see-
Congratulate them. You
Oh.
caught him.
That was outside of Cincinnati.
Oh, okay. I'm not familiar with that one. I know the one in Columbus that they just disbanded.
There's a Big and Rich song was mentioned. It says something about outside of Cincinnati.
Yeah.
I was cruising along one night, happy as a clam at high tide on patrol, during one of those lovely Panhandle falls when everything is going to wind up in Lubbock sooner or later. And I was viciously and savagely and unprovokedly attacked by a blue wading pool.
Oh, yeah.
That was a hell of a ST3 to fill out. What happened? I ran.
Well, the fun ones are when you get the high winds going, and especially
Panhandle.
yeah, Panhandle or other places, and you're driving along fat, dumb, and happy, and all of a sudden you realize that the truck in front of you is doing this,
Yeah, that's not fun.
Yeah.
That's the opposite of fun.
and then you realize that it's not one puppy or two puppies, but it's a 3-puppy rig.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
bugger that. That's why those things should be legal.
I got behind a vintage RV the other day coming up 287, and it kept doing this weird wobble to one side and then coming back up. I was like, I'm passing you.
Yeah, yeah.
Vintage RV. I didn't realize we had Amish in North Texas.
Not antique, vintage.
Well, let's just be glad we're not in Pennsylvania with the Amish. You know,
Oh.
you could just see that, you know, bucking down the road.
Having grown up Amish adjacent, so it's like
Yes.
Clip, clop, clip, clop, clip, clop, bang, clip, clop, clip, clop, clip, clop.
Yeah.
Amish drive by.
Ah,
It's been one of those days.
yes, it is. And by the way, we were joined by Courtney also,
And Jonna.
and Jonna, who's
They-
hiding over
They
there.
disappeared on me. It's like, what the?
No, we had some stuff we had to figure out for the schedule, so.
Yep.
Which is,
We had a meeting.
we had to have a quick meeting about schedule stuff,
Okay.
so. Yeah, we had an editorial moment,
Yes.
not like.
In other words, you got more work.
Mm,
there's
Probably.
more anthologies.
Yeah.
No! I took booze away from her at the broadcast Tuesday night. She suggested anthology. I took her booze away.
Placements.
Well, we will have an anthology coming out of Fool's Con one way or the other.
There always is one.
I'm
There
getting
always is.
threatened.
It happens.
That has a vaguely threatening feel to it.
Does it?
Oh,
Fool's cards.
the new revolvers from Henry. No, I haven't.
I've seen pictures, but I don't know exactly what the hell is so. It was in passing. I don't know what is so special about the Henry revolvers.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, Bill. Columbus, Ohio actually has organized street racing some nights. Cars capable of 150 miles an hour plus. Cops refuse to get involved. I can believe that.
Aurora has that.
We used to do that on I-30 back in the 60s. Of course, I-30 wasn't finished back then. And
there were no interstates in 1760, Jim.
it rotated
I
through
lie?
all the law enforcement agencies because Texarkana was split by the state line.
Hmm.
So we had 7 law enforcement agencies that could nail our asses. We had city, we had county, we had state on both sides. Plus, we had Border Patrol. And we would go out and race Saturday and Friday night and Saturday night. And there was a rotating watch. We would always have somebody from some department out there every Friday and Saturday night. And I was dating the sheriff's daughter at the time. And I asked him one day, I said, why in the hell do y'all come out and watch us? He said, you never do anything. He's Sheriff Tackett kind of smiled, said, that's just to keep you from doing something stupid.
He's already behind the power curve.
Yeah. Well, we had,
Just stop right there.
we were not drinking. I'll give it that credit.
You were buzzing on testosterone. How old were you?
17.
I rest my case.
Well, we had people that were coming out with Daddy's Fury, which the old Plymouths, and we have more people.
RK Mikado just walked in.
Yep. Hello. We would, but he would bring his Daddy's Fury out there. Well, the old Plymouths were notorious for going fast in a straight line, but they didn't turn well and they didn't stop worth a shit.
Notorious for drum brakes too.
Yeah. And after usually the second pass, you know, he would just keep going. And he'd be standing on the brakes and you could hear him squealing. And he's just going right on down the road. And it finally got to the point that the state trooper on the Arkansas side said, son, don't bring your daddy's car out here anymore. And we're joined by RK and Mikado. Welcome.
Howdy.
It's probably not going to be the last one. Man, there's somebody else out
Yeah, I
there
know. There's
talking.
more. So I'm just getting some more chairs out. So.
That's big enough to be Tom. Is that Tom?
That's Tom.
I'll be right back.
Rigged a bit. Rocked a bit.
It's Tom who's sporting a part of a polar bear on his beard.
Barco.
I resemble
Oh, Alan says, I once saw a Barco lounger levitate out of the back of a pickup. Floated so the back was above the chair. The back of the chair was above the bed. Truck drove out from under it, and yeah, it was a nice place. Hey, come on in, Tom.
You can have my chair.
Tom, I absolutely love your shirt.
Thank you.
And this is another one of our authors, Tom Roggeman.
Would you pass me the Pepsi right there, please?
There you go, sir.
I have an excuse to hide off camera.
What is this shit?
I don't
Part
look
of
like
a polar
I
bear.
don't look like a 12-year-old.
You didn't look like a 12-year-old when you were 12.
Oh yeah.
I hadn't realized that was an issue.
Just got in off the road.
Is your wife here?
No.
Okay, considering that there are several waitresses at Chewy's that still ask about your son.
Yeah, he still talks about the waitresses at Chewy's.
You didn't bring him, did you?
No.
Oh.
Shit. Well, we don't have to go to Chewy's.
Mm.
No, I took him up to North Dakota last week. He got to see a real winter for once.
It's still
North
winter.
Dakota.
It's still winter in North Dakota.
Yep.
Mhm.
Isn't it like shoulder deep on you in snow currently?
It was 4.5 feet of snow that had been laying there since October, and they got another 5 inches while we were there. It was enough to shut down the interstates for a few days.
Damn global warming.
Gnarly ice crystals on that old snow, though.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and I got to shovel some of it.
Oh, yay.
There's Cedar. Beautiful ice crystals in the snow.
Yeah.
It's 5 freaking feet of snow, Cedar.
Not
Yeah.
beautiful, gnarly.
Oh,
and,
gnarly.
and I have, you know what works better than shoveling it at that point is getting out the crosscut saw.
Wasn't quite there. We did have a chipper.
And
we-
if you've seen the pictures from Larry, the great melting is starting to happen in Utah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got a friggin' moat on where his range used to be.
At least
Lovely.
he's high enough to be out of it, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm kind of worried about a lot of our friends in Utah
Mm-hmm.
because a lot of them built in valleys.
Yep.
And I think they're fixing to figure out why those are valleys.
Yeah, the last flooding out there was in the 50s.
Ooh.
Why is this land so cheap? Well, let me tell
Yeah.
Flood insurance in Utah. We don't need no stunking flood insurance in
Yeah.
Utah.
you. Mm-hmm.
Well, and
It'll
the
be like Grand Forks in '95.
Yeah,
Well-
or Kentucky this last December.
thing Larry
Yeah.
was saying was that
Or Fort Lauderdale today.
Oh,
the
really?
record flooding they had in the 50s, they didn't have this much snow for that.
Yeah.
So
This-
they're fixing to break records again.
Yep. This is why you want a slow warm up.
Yep. Fort Lauderdale had 25 inches of rain yesterday. Airport is closed down and they don't know when it's going to reopen. We're trying to reopen it today. They can't do it because there's too much water. They're hoping to reopen it tomorrow. But that may not happen because there's more rain coming.
Nothing like looking at a taxiway and watching the gator being chased by a shark.
That sounds like a plot.
No, that was real. That was real last year.
That was Houston.
It was also Tampa.
Now, Houston, everybody was accusing that one picture of the big ass fish, wasn't the shark, big ass fish going down I-45. It's like, oh, that's photoshopped.
No, it wasn't. And
You-
they did have a shark chasing a gator or vice versa.
It depends on where on the freeway they were at
Yeah.
the time.
Isn't Houston one of those places that's got the really deep ravines in between the overpasses
Yep.
just so they can handle all the water?
Yes.
Yeah, didn't
When-
work.
When it's actually built on a bayou,
Yeah.
this is what us finally trained law enforcement types call a clue.
Yeah.
This is a bayou. A bayou is a swamp.
Yeah.
Why are we building in the middle of a swamp? Well, we
Yeah.
like Washington, D.C. so much, we decided to emulate it.
Yeah, Sir Brass says, anyone complaining about global warming drought in the West can kindly shut up now. You think? But California will still bitch because,
They'll let all the water go.
yeah, they'll let all the water go.
Well, they'll have a bunch of snow now.
Yeah.
Then they'll have floods.
Yep.
Then they'll have a drought.
Yep.
Then they'll have fires.
Yep.
And then we'll start over.
Yeah, and
Rinse,
that'll be this
Electricity
fall.
will go off.
lather, rinse, repeat. And they're
570 inches is what they had at Snowmass. And I think
That's almost enough to buy a snowblower.
Sun Mountain in California had 600 and some odd inches.
And it'll all melt in 2 weeks.
if they're lucky, it'll melt in 2 weeks. That stuff will melt in 2 days. And
That's
then
600 inches
they'll
is
open all the floodgates, let it go out to sea,
Yeah.
and wave bye-bye to it, and then bitch
because
about
of the smelt.
Well, they're reducing the salinity of the San Francisco Bay because it's attached to the ocean. You can't have that.
Yeah, we can't have that. No. But they'll wave bye-bye, and then they'll bitch about Nevada not giving them enough water.
Right.
Well, that was the other thing that was in the news today is the California is not agreeing to give up any water rights to the Colorado River.
I don't understand this give.
Yeah.
We're in Colorado. We've got it. Y'all are way over there. You don't.
Didn't someone write a book about that?
Yeah, somebody we know wrote a book about that,
Or two,
and it's coming true.
or a dissertation.
So they've now been given 90 days to come up with a workable plan to cut water use on the entire Colorado. Otherwise, it's probably going to go dry. And California is going, we're not giving up anything. So there.
So when they turn the tap, it goes squeak, 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 and a spider falls out. They're
Yeah.
gonna,
Golf courses are still green. I guess they're okay.
we got green golf courses in the middle of a desert. Folks do understand that LA is in the middle of a desert, right?
Right.
Okay,
Mhm.
just checking.
You haven't been to Abu
There's a
Dhabi
couple
lately,
of-
have you?
Not
couple movies
since
about that.
why?
They now have a green golf course over there.
Well, they did when we were there.
They have multiple.
Yeah, they did. They got Abu Dhabi when we were there was running a desal plant.
Yep.
At about 200% rated capacity. University of Arizona was doing testing,
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
and the folks in Abu Dhabi went, "Ooh, free water, water for everyone!" It's like, all right, that place had more fountains.
Well, they now have 4 desal plants,
That doesn't
and
surprise
2 of them are dedicated to golf courses.
me. That doesn't- it's,
Well, that's where you do business.
that's the Emirates. It doesn't surprise me in the least.
California could solve their water problem with one.
Yeah.
But no.
They
that's-
could solve their electricity problem with one reactor, but they won't.
Well,
They're closing reactors.
Yeah.
because they're morons.
and so is Germany.
Right. Germany just shut. They were on the
Germany
news.
shut their last 3 down.
Mhm.
Like yesterday or day
And
before.
they
Yep.
shut down the. They had what was it? Thorium based.
Yeah.
Because which is like the safest possible. You know, and the nuclear tolerance is yes, when they go bad, but
Yeah.
safety of
On the,
most
on the
nuclear is
thorium molten
really
salt
good.
reactors,
Yeah.
you have to really, really, really intend for something to go wrong,
You
for
have to-
something to go wrong.
You're showing your optimism towards people.
That's a good point. That's a real
Yeah.
good point.
Yeah.
But Germany's in the middle of an energy crisis because
Yeah.
they can't get enough natural gas. But we'll shut down some of our major electricity producers.
Yeah.
Let's see. I believe that what they shut down provided 13% of electricity for Germany,
Mhm.
which is running at 88% right now.
Right.
So
I think it was
Which-
actually 23%.
officially it's at 13%.
Yeah.
So let me take off my shoes. 88 minus 13 is 75%.
hmm
So they're at 3/4. They're rated going into what's probably going to be a hot summer.
Yep.
Yeah.
And if you're an LNG producer, I suggest you just turn the money machine back on and get
Yeah.
moving as fast as you can.
The thing is, the money, that's Gazprom.
Mhm.
So, and,
Well-
and there's an issue, you know,
Because we're not allowed to ship gas, LNG to them.
And the for those of us, Tom, Jim, folks, that study history, when the German people start getting desperate for something, people start getting thrown into cattle cars.
Mhm.
I mean, like Tam says, nobody goes zero jackboot faster than Northern Europeans.
Yeah.
for as much as for as much as the Nazi word gets thrown around, you're trying to actually make real ones. I
Yeah.
Well, they're it's like history books. Please stop eating them.
Yeah.
Read them, don't eat them. But again, as Tom says, I'm giving way too much credit to
Yeah.
people.
The last summer when the Germans announced that they were going to increase defense spending and possibly have an out of Germany commitment, and I was like, where have we seen this?
Oh, are the Polish getting nervous?
No,
Well,
the
the
Poles are
Japanese-
sharpening their bayonets.
The Japanese have already made everybody nervous
No kidding, right?
because they're no longer the JMSDF.
They're not in Defense Force anymore.
Nope.
Now they're a Department of War. Excuse me,
Yeah.
Defense.
Whatever.
You've got the nuts in Pyongyang who've been lobbing, you know, things at them for 20 years,
Yeah.
and no one, and they finally figured out that we ain't helping them.
Yeah,
anymore.
the Japanese are very patient people until they're
Until
not
they're
anymore.
not.
Yeah.
Right. Slowly at first, then all of a sudden.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden,
Well, the real eye opener was when the Japanese put people in sniffle, standing naval forces,
Mhm.
and they were doing piracy patrols in Africa
Mhm.
and shooting people. And everybody went, "Huh?
what's the
That's Japanese."
old joke? Are 100 zeros bad?
Yeah.
Depends. Over Pearl Harbor, yes.
Yeah.
Speaking of, how do you feel about the life expectancy of various Russian oligarchs right now?
If you're not already out of Russia, you may have a problem.
One of them
Stay away from windows, elevators.
Well, how'd he die? Someone stepped on his fingers.
Oh.
How'd that kill him? Well, he was hanging from a hotel roof at the time.
a lot of them are dying of immediately, or no, mysteriously. They're dying of
Mysteriously, yeah.
mysteriously.
Seriously. And suddenly.
And immediately, yes.
Because the last one died of natural circumstances in prison.
Natural.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes. The Kremlin investigated and said, no, he died of natural circumstances. It's like,
See, this is the thing that I'm constantly arguing with people about. So, like, oh, natural medicines are good. And I'm like, as opposed to unnatural ones. I mean,
They're all
natural covers a
chemicals.
lot of range, including things like, I don't know, cyanide and snake venom. And
nightshade.
Arsenic in all places.
No, the Japanese definitely
No, the
do
whole
not
place is
like the
unnatural.
Russians.
So
Now they do the Finns.
now, ooh.
Yeah.
The Finns are now in NATO.
And
I
they
look
turned,
forward to having a coffee and free V-board within the next 10 years.
and they've now turned the Baltic into a NATO sea,
Mhm.
Yes. And,
which the Russians definitely are not happy about.
Russians have, I think, 10 kilometers of Baltic
They-
Sea coast
they-
now?
they've
They got
got a
Kaliningrad and a
little
little bit up by St.
enclave-
Petersburg. Right.
enclave of nets. And I keep telling people, I said, if you've been watching the Russians, Ukraine's the third one that they've invaded.
Yeah.
The Baltics have been looking, going, we're in between Putin and his Baltic
Kaliningrad.
port. Yes. So he's going to come through sooner or later.
Yeah.
It's like, well, and here we go. Here we are. But no, apparently the Kremlin investigated this guy that died of mysteriously in prison, and they assure us that he died of completely natural circumstances.
Pinky swear.
Pinky swear.
Well,
And we have a
That's
team
underwater, you
team
can
and more
drown.
patch.
When the blood runs out, you die completely naturally.
That is,
Yep.
that is completely it.
But that's nothing new. I mean, 95, they had a reporter who was
I love it.
critical of Yeltsin.
Yeah.
was shot in a doorway with an AK-47, and they called it suicide.
Well,
Apparently, they shot
speaking-
themselves in the
Suicide
chest
by cop?
30 times.
Yeah.
Technically, if you run your mouth about whoever's running Russia, you have committed suicide.
Well,
yeah.
Technically speaking,
Yeah.
it's
Uh-oh.
like don't drink any tea if you're critical of Putin.
Right.
Always have a Geiger counter next to your sugar spoon.
Yeah.
Oh,
What do we have here?
So Jonna has been listing these tins of, I think we can kindly call them snake oil.
natural
This-
medicines.
Patent
This
medicines.
patent medicines. This patent medicine was made by Dr. W.O. Coffey, and it is a treatment for deafness and head noises.
But the
Use-
voices in my head make my books.
Used
Voices in my head
twice
pay
a
rent,
day,
yes.
placing a small quantity up each nostril, snuffing it back.
We spent how much on your cochlear implant? When this
At
was
bedtime,
available?
Bolivian marching powder.
at bedtime, rub on outside of nose thoroughly.
This is for ears.
Treatment for deafness.
And then rub on your gums.
Yeah, the rub on your gums.
Look, she's just not listening to me.
Ah,
Wow.
Yeah, Ian, put this one on a burn.
What do we got there?
Probably
Oh my
cocaine.
God. Holy Jesus. What the shit?
Shoe polish?
No.
Mustache wax?
Beggy's True Mustardine. A compound of oleoresin capsicum,
Oh.
turpentine,
Oh.
camphor, mustard, menthol, and various oils.
I think I saw that when I went to chemical warfare school.
yeah.
Clean the surface,
I was going to say that'll clean you out.
Yeah.
then apply direct to the part affected, which may be rubbed briskly to increase the effect.
Quit touching it.
You won't want to touch it again after that.
Applied as often as may be required for children. Is that putting it on children if you want to have children?
Sounds like a good dry rub.
Not with the camphor, it doesn't. It's like,
Lord, I am sorry for that thought I just had.
So I can eat barbecue and numb my mouth for certain.
well, that's okay. Oleoresin capsicum is hot because it affects
It's
the
chili oil.
nerves, one set of nerves,
Yeah.
and makes it think that it's hot. Menthol and camphor have a cold sensation because they affect a completely separate nerve pathway, making you think it's cold.
Yeah.
Hey guys, guess what hellfire tastes like?
Obviously, that's for colds.
Yeah, Nancy Fry says that would make a good chest rub.
That's
Probably what it
was
is, yeah.
intended for would be a mustard
I
plaster.
was
Yeah.
going to say,
Yeah.
yeah. That sounds like something my German grandmother would have concocted when I had pneumonia.
Yeah.
Used in place of a mustard plaster or wherever a hot application is indicated as a counter irritant.
Yes.
Counter irritant, my ass.
Well,
Counter irritants work by making you hurt so much in one place you forget you're
Yeah.
hurting in another place.
I was going to say,
And
it's
then
good.
there's the bag of camphor sticks.
Watch out for the formaldehyde candles, for the discrimination of
Camphor sticks.
Who wants to open that and smell it?
No.
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 So, we use that in place of preparation H.
We have friends. that-
This one's got, this one must be for feminine uses because it's got flowers on it.
There's the mustarine.
It's like, holy shit. Camphor ice.
It's a lady's aid.
These would have been your equivalent to like Bengay or Tiger Balm
Yeah.
or Vicks VapoRub.
or Vicks Vapor.
There is no equivalent to Tiger Balm.
Now, Vicks
trust me.
Vapor Rub will fix you. You may wish you were fixed, but you'll be fixed.
It may not fix the problem you're using it for, but something will be fixed.
I can't take cold medicine. It makes me high as a kite.
Me too. Isn't that great?
No. So I use Vicks Vapor Rub if I'm really bad.
Yeah.
Vicks VapoRub has a very, very bad association for me
Mm.
because you always had a jar
Mm-hmm.
in the detective kit in the trunk of your cruiser.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
when
Dink, dink under
Yep.
the nose.
Mrs. Begley or whatever,
Hey.
yeah.
I resemble that.
that's probably why I unconsciously said that. But when somebody hasn't talked to their family in 6 months and you go by, it's like,
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're about We're about 6 inches above the bodies, gentlemen. Put
Yeah.
your Vicks on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Greg makes a point, says Tiger Bomb should not be used on a thigh bruise if you're going to sleep in a kilt. Just saying.
Oh,
Oh,
Ow.
Why the hell did anybody think that was a good idea?
and that is how yodeling was invented.
Tiger Bomb and I are not friends.
Camp for candles when you can't have tear gas in the gas chamber.
Okay. Does anybody remember what they used to burn for the tear gas chamber?
Those little tablets.
Well, they also come in capsules,
Okay.
Yeah.
about like that, full of these little grayish white crystals.
Mhm.
Yeah.
CS.
Yeah, see it. You set it
Yeah.
on fire and
Mhm.
it burns. Well, whenever you got done, there were always a couple capsules left over.
Mhm.
And if you had a massive case of the ass at the CSM, Command Sergeant Major, you would go to the smoke pit where the senior NCOs hung out, and the ashtray full of sand, you would stir in the crystals into the. So when they put out the cigars, they turned it into a gas chamber. Also, coincidentally enough, I lowered Aberdeen Proving Grounds by about 6 feet doing push-ups that year.
So is this
So-
promotion by attrition?
Right? So did you guys know that you can actually use Tiger Balm to permeate all the fibers of a dance belt?
Oh.
Never piss off the customer.
dance belts for the those of you who don't know on the chat, dance belts are not worn around the waist.
No, they're used to
They're used to support other parts.
yes.
I don't think I would.
I don't know about what parts.
So the audience doesn't know
You
what your
don't want
religion is.
tiger balm
They-
on it.
Thank
Yeah.
God for the Y chromosome.
Yeah.
Well, dance belts are used to hide what your religion is.
Oh,
Maybe
that's
not.
worse.
Ow.
Okay, that's
It's
worse.
worse for some people.
Ow.
I recommend them for anybody cosplaying as Spider-Man.
Oh, please.
His
Oh,
dance
my
belt
Lord.
will also support a 1911. Not asking how you know that, Greg.
I know how he knows that.
No, I'm just not.
So-
I don't want to know.
So the thing about cosplay is that everybody should be able to cosplay whatever it is that they want. But please, if you're going to put on a body stocking, have some consideration for those people that have to look at that.
Especially if you're tall.
Dance belts, pasties. Please make sure everything's covered and the full and upright launch position.
I'm gonna run around. I think I'll run around the next cosplay convention with a stapler and a fig leaf.
I did tell someone once that if they were going to dress up
Just
as
go
Sailor
straight to
Moon,
the
they should
nail,
shave
man.
their chest first.
You know, that is like
Oh,
the least
Department of Energy.
objectionable.
Was it Department of Energy? Because
Because you can pull off an ironic Sailor Moon with a nice deep cut and a good chest rug.
That wasn't what they were going for.
Yeah. Brings to mind a Halloween party I went to in the late 90s.
17 or 18.
Ow. In Malibu. And a lady showed up as Lady Godiva
That's always fun.
with a horse and hair and nothing else.
She made the world a better place.
Mm-hmm.
How'd you get the horse in?
And the horse you rode in on.
Did you have the hair to pull it off?
Yes.
That is
Oh,
cool.
there you go.
And
She had
the
hair in a mirror.
the bad part was a few people got a little over inebriated at that party.
No.
Nothing wrong can go wrong here. No, nothing bad can go wrong.
No.
What's the worst that could possibly happen? You stole the horse.
Actually, somebody tried to,
Like you do.
and the cops got called.
Like they do.
And, the
And a
cops
couple of the
impounded
people are
horse?
going, man, those are some really good costumes. You almost look like a real fucking cop.
Oh, no.
It's not a party until the cops come.
Did they try and set the dollar bills in, or did they?
One of my wife's claims to fame is she had the cops come 3 times to the same party.
Damn.
She kept feeding them. They kept going away.
That could either be good or bad.
It was good barbecue.
Oh, okay. So
Now,
you were getting,
specified what was being fed.
yeah.
Yeah.
Was she feeding pig to the pigs?
I no. Not answering that.
We are on a recording.
Girl.
Not asking people to incriminate themselves is polite.
And Rick makes a point, says Hollywood crowd, they could be real uniforms as costumes. Yeah.
I mean, Frank's going to have to hire a couple of interns in order to keep up with this one.
Yeah.
Frank will get over it.
That was also the one that the costume party that Peter Mayhew showed up in costume at.
Really?
Wookie?
Yeah.
That's
Sweet.
Chewbacca?
Did he show up as Chewbacca?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
That's wrong. That is so wrong.
Why is that wrong?
Cool, but wrong.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
these are a bunch of people out of television and movies, so
There's no way that could possibly ever go wrong.
yeah.
I mean, I remember some of the Army Halloween parties vaguely,
I was going to
Mostly.
say how much memory.
mostly. Majority ish of the parties I remember. And no, that one we had at Aberdeen one year that what are the young ladies that show up to be introduced to society?
Debutantes.
Debutantes.
Yeah, that was bad.
Mm.
We got safety briefs after that one.
Everyone take your helmets off and take a knee. We're going to talk.
Yeah. And it's going to take a while.
Did the girls any of the girls manage to retain their briefs?
I assert my Fifth Amendment rights to not incriminate myself.
I assumed the conversation was because some of them were missing.
Am I being detained?
Yeah.
Yes, First Sergeant. No, First Sergeant. I don't remember First Sergeant. I was drunk, First
I
Sergeant.
have no idea how the colonel's daughter ended up in the barracks. Wasn't me.
Oh, God.
We're
Someone's
sure,
having flashbacks over here.
we're sure we deleted the pictures.
One of my troopies
Probably.
became involved with a nice young lady who was going to the University of Maryland campus in Augsburg. She was 19, he was 22. Not a big deal, except that she was the post commander's favorite daughter. Now,
Oops.
perfectly legal, but
Still,
Bad
Bad
career
idea.
choice.
Unwise.
Bad career
bad
choice.
career choice.
Yeah.
We had a brigade commander's daughter in the trunk of a LTD one time.
That doesn't
Voluntarily.
sound bad at all.
Was it
Voluntarily.
consensual?
It didn't matter after we got pulled over and the
Oh, yeah.
peace found her. So
Oh.
sneak around base.
They don't have much of a sense of humor.
No.
they have zero sense of humor, especially since we had been responsible for what I like to think were morale improving pranks
Mhm.
directed towards
Uh-huh.
well, military intelligence was getting nasty.
Hey,
Yes, we have taken on military intelligence. Next, we know frozen fruit was coming in the window, and we looked over and they had a catapult made out of surgical. And it's like, well, whack! And here comes a frozen pineapple. Okay, MI is off the list. Oh, look, MPs. Whee! No,
Rick says, same as dating an admiral's daughter. Welcome to ADEX, sailor. Yeah, pretty much.
well, let me think. Where did he end up? Synop.
Sir Brass says, commanding officers' daughters are more trouble than they're worth. True.
but when you're 21, that doesn't sink in.
Yeah.
No.
Or 19, which is worse.
I always told the guys, if you go to the bowling alley and she's not military and she's not married, she's underage.
Yeah, right. If any female on a military town
Mm-hmm.
that's not married and doesn't look like a stripper she is married. Just roll with it. It's don't add to the population, don't subtract the population, don't wind up in the headlines. And if you're in jail, establish dominance quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I was working with the Air Force at RAF Mildenhall, there was a young lady who used to come to the pool hall every night. And I thought she was in the Air Force. Luckily enough, I was married and faithful because I didn't get caught up in all that. She wasn't in the Air Force. Her daddy was.
Oh,
Yeah, U-2 pilot.
Oh boy. Yeah, those
no.
are always fun.
Oh, yeah.
There's always the famous one where the 16-year-old girl comes up pregnant and they wind up with before they had paternity testing, half the base was eligible to be the father.
Yes. Oh yeah. Been there, done that. No, I didn't actually do that. I was the E5 that had to take care of the problem.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, this young lady is pregnant. Okay, who? She's not sure. What? I mean, she's not sure. Remember that party 3 weeks ago? Crap.
Were we in the British Paris? I mean,
I learned the Army taught me quite a bit about the female of the species, especially when their hormones are running high.
Most of which is get the hell away.
Or they're from Colleen. Are you from here? No. Are you leaving? Can I go with you?
Yeah. Well, same thing in Pensacola with the college grads down there chasing naval aviators.
Well, you know,
Run.
Tom
Yeah.
Cruise, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tom Cruise. Run.
Richard Gere.
Yep.
I don't think Richard swings that way, but not.
In the movie,
They actually
is
teach
why-
a class on that for naval aviators.
These are
Yeah.
boobs.
Yeah. No, they literally, we've had this conversation before. The number of Southern women married to military people.
Mhm.
Because most of the military bases are in the South.
Yeah.
And eligible young gentlemen in that period of their lives are swinging through the South. They'll pick up a I swear to God, the ladies' club in any military base,
Mhm.
more Southern belles you shake a stick at.
Yeah.
We used to have safety briefs before we went on any kind of a TDY. You're
Yeah.
going here, watch out for this. The safety brief for Fayetteville was worse than the one going to Thailand.
Oh yeah.
We can catch more diseases than Fayetteville.
Well, you know, they don't call it Vietnam for nothing.
Boy,
This
no
is true.
lie. That's no lie. Fayetteville, North Carolina. Oh my God, there's.
But
some
Thailand is a lot more fun.
I've never been, thank you.
I didn't do Pacific Theater, and I'm perfectly happy with that.
I did Pacific Theater. I did not go to Southeast Asia. My father went, and I was afraid of meeting an older brother.
That's reasonable.
Stranger things have happened.
Mhm.
That wouldn't be strange at all in Southeast Asia. Well, but
Oh,
I'm not saying nothing.
no comment.
how long were you in Southeast Asia, Jim?
Yeah, way too many years.
And we should let that one lay.
Tell me, did they have the Thai lady boys in the 1600s?
time.
We did have an officer we set up with a Benny boy because he pissed us off. He was Mormon.
Seriously?
Yeah. He was not one of our favorite pilots.
Hey, Jim, when you get to hell, can you check my condo in the Lake of Fire?
You'll have the next one over from me.
Yeah.
We're all going to be
But-
there. I mean,
He got plussed onto our crew for a debt. And he was so hard over that nothing on the airplane except the Bible, and he didn't even like the NATOPS being on the airplane, which is the Bible to run the airplane.
Who was he? Was he an aviator?
Yeah.
And he didn't like NATOPS.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was a born again.
Oh Lord.
Yeah.
Fanatics, I hate them.
Reformed Center.
And Mormon.
Shiite Mormon.
Yeah, Shiite Mormon.
I'm married to a Shiite Catholic. So.
Yeah. And as luck would have it, our Censor 3 happened to be the Porn King.
Okay.
And one of our test tapes for one of our sensors with a Navy stock number on it was behind the green door.
So you're I don't know.
I don't want to say. I don't want to know.
It got very quiet all of a sudden.
It got
We're all
very
having memories of
interesting
similar incidents.
I'm sure.
when he walked on the airplane and saw that running across the screen.
I was just wondering which scene they used.
Well, it was the
That's-
whole tape.
Oh no.
It's amazing where people will put their porn. My first IT job was to go through government computers looking for scanned in 1980s Playboy centerfolds
Oh, yeah.
stored on hard drives
And you found a shit ton of them, didn't you?
in skiffs.
you
It's,
found the ones that
In
weren't
skips.
penthouse, and you were wishing they were penthouse.
Yeah.
Where is this from? Germany? What are you, German? No.
Yeah.
Sick fuck.
Nice.
So he we ended up over in Thailand, and he had decided that he wanted to go to Bangkok and see a show.
because
Is this
good
like
Mormon and all.
Is this like the show in The Godfather in Havana or no?
Tijuana.
Nah.
It's supposedly a dance review.
Okay.
He did not understand what kind of dance review it was.
Mm.
So he
He
asked,
wasn't a very good reform woman, was he?
well,
Three Rivers rule. The 3 rivers away from home.
yeah, he thought he was getting water. He wasn't.
Must have been
And,
real smooth.
Yeah,
Just trying to.
Watered down.
it was considerably watered down and it was clear. So he thought he was drinking water. And the dance review was Benny Boys. And this was so we got some pictures taken of him with the Benny Boy.
Pictures.
Yeah.
In the
We,
Article
we
50,
used the Navy
blackmail.
camera. Yeah. We actually used the Navy camera because it was a good 35 millimeter.
And then
Took
you
them back to
took
the
that-
base, developed them
did
in the
you put
photo
that
lab.
on the display
Okay, we're up to
hub
count 4.
Yeah.
So tell me, E4, what did you think?
I was not an E4 at the time. I was an E5.
How do you become an E6 in the Army in Korea? Well, you used to go in as an E7.
Yeah. I'll have you know I made E6 in 6 years.
How
Twice.
many times?
We did have a guy retire out of Glencoe as an E4 at 22 years.
We've had more retire out of Fort Hood while I was there.
Yeah.
Retire out of 20 years as an E1.
Well, this particular guy had made E7 twice and got busted all the way back down and retired as an E4.
Wow.
As a natural position.
And he was a miscreant.
Well,
He was infiltrating and kept getting caught.
Yeah. No, he couldn't stay off the booze.
no, that's yeah.
That's not uncommon.
No.
Unfortunately.
Well, and back when we were on active duty, when I was on active duty, and a couple other people in here were on active duty,
Grant was a hard man, but he was a fair man.
we would have squadron parties, and the squadron would pay for 5 or 6 kegs of beer.
I came at the
And-
very tail end of that.
If you weren't a drinker, it was actually worse.
Yeah.
And
there were buses. They would bring a bus from Navy MWR over to cart the drunks home.
Well, when we went to Cantonment after an RTEP, after we got done at the bird bath cleaning the tracks, it was 2 beers for everyone. Everyone got 2 beers, and you can give away your 2 beers,
Mhm.
Yeah.
or in some cases sell them.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about.
But yeah, that was in the 80s. That was common.
Yeah.
Good job. Here's your 2 beers. I'm 19. Well, give them to somebody. All right.
Now, speaking of 2 beers, Navy has a tradition.
It has
Yeah.
a lot of traditions.
If
Rum,
you're-
the lash.
yeah,
Buggery.
cat and nine tails. Yeah, a few in there. That if you're out X number of days, 120 days continuous, you get to have 2 beers and a beach party. Call it Steel Beach.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, they never had a submarine that stayed out 120 days
Okay.
until my buddy ended up getting stuck out there for 120 days. They unwrapped 3 different times to get food.
And vitamin D tablets.
Yeah.
Right.
And so he was out in Westpac and he called up the task force commander and said, "Hey, I'm coming up on 120 days. I want to do a Steel Beach." And basically it came back down and, "What? You want a what?" 120 day rule, Admiral. We've been out here, X number of days. Well, I guess you can have one if you're out 120 days. Okay, thank you. Where can I get beer? They came back to him and said, "That's on you."
Oh no, no.
So,
So what we're going to do is we're going to surface in Hong Kong Harbor.
Oh, no.
no, this is the middle of a different ocean. So he comes up in the middle of the battle group and goes, "Hey, who's got any extra beer? I need." Had a destroyer had enough extra beer, so he did an unwrap in the middle of Westpac with a destroyer to get 2 cans of beer for his entire crew.
This must have been the 1970s Navy.
No.
How do you have extra beer in the Navy on a boat?
This was
Please.
in 2000s.
Please,
Oh,
please,
okay.
God, tell me it was a U.S. destroyer and not a Russian or a Chinese.
It was a U.S. destroyer.
It was British.
They're British.
So Then the thing became,
German.
how can we do
We
this
don't do German
legally?
destroyers. Bad.
So he had his yeoman make up chits for 2 cans of beer. So you had to turn in a chit to get your can of beer.
Okay.
So everybody got their 1 can of beer, and their next down period, they got their 2nd can of beer.
There's no possible way that could go wrong.
Mm-mm.
And it actually went fairly smooth. He said it went great until they were getting ready to pull back into Pearl Harbor 8 months later. And said one of the E4s came out of the torpedo room, walked up to him and said, "Skipper, I hate to ask, but can I have my chit back? Because nobody will ever believe that shit actually happened."
He's right.
So they laminated the chits and everybody got a chit back. And he pulled his out of his wallet and said, "See, it really did happen."
So,
How does that stack up against the challenge coin in the competition?
coin check. Here's my chit. Okay, you win.
Yeah. Coin checks can get interesting.
Coin checks get dangerous.
Yeah.
I haven't done coin check in X number of years, and
Yeah.
I'm not going to do one again because I've seen people wind up having to buy an entire bar worth of drinks.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, the story that I tell in the Gray Man about the coin check with the 5th Special Forces,
Yeah, that's dumb.
that actually happened.
Oh yeah.
And when that guy slapped it, solid silver.
Used to be the rule was, and it used to be simple. Back in the 80s, it was simple. The guy yelled coin check and slapped his coin down. If everybody else had a coin, didn't matter what it was,
Mhm.
He had to buy.
it.
Yeah.
Right.
And then once we did, and all this, well, mine's better than yours, yours better. No,
Right.
we didn't have to. We didn't
Yeah.
used to have to do that.
I had a Joint Chiefs coin.
Yeah.
And I just never pulled it out unless someone asked for it.
Yeah.
Because, well, I'm a human being.
Yeah.
But I gave up on challenge coins when my daughter's JROTC class, all of them got a challenge coin.
Oh,
Got a
God.
I
yeah.
was like, okay, they've kind of lost their
Yeah.
luster.
Yeah, it used to be it was really high speed, low drag to get a challenge coin,
Mhm.
and then they started handing them out for a challenge coin for being the best shine boots
Mhm.
on parade that day. It's like,
Yeah.
seriously, guys.
I've had people who would say they'd rather have a challenge coin from a certain officer than an end of tour award. They needed that for promotion points. They'd rather have the coin because it was worth that much to them.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah, but it's sentimental. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
If you get it because you shined your boots really well the night before parade, it doesn't mean anything
Yeah.
to you. It just has a couple of stars on it. Looks cool.
Yeah.
Didn't used to be that individual officers had challenge coins. It was a school or
Mhm.
a unit
Mhm.
Yeah.
or I've got somewhere in storage. I've got several challenge coins from various units, and I never got an individual one.
Well, it used to be rare, as everybody
Yeah.
in the chat said. It used to be rare. It wasn't something that was routine.
Now you had to be pretty high speed. I told somebody out here one time that I've got a challenge coin that's black and says, "I wasn't there." No wait,
Yeah.
it's black.
Wasn't there nobody saw you do it? Can't prove anything.
No,
Yeah.
it's the one about counter accusations.
Yeah.
Prove it.
Yeah.
It's a coin from a small unit,
Mhm.
and I was very proud to get that. And I was telling we mentioned it
Yeah.
several months back. Somebody went, "Oh, that's a blank coin." It's like, holy shit.
I mean, there was
Admit nothing, deny everything, make counter accusations.
Yeah.
It's a black gold coin with admit nothing, deny everything, make
Yeah.
counter accusations.
there was a corps commander in Europe at one point who used to have his aide walk around with a what's that whiskey with the velvet bags?
Crown Royal.
Crown
Crown
Royal.
Royal. He had a Crown Royal bag full of his challenge coins, and he would just
Oh wow.
Oh, damn.
oh, that's worth something.
Back in the 70s, I never heard of them. In the 70s, I was in a normal line infantry unit. In the early 80s, I was in a technical unit. I had never heard of challenge coins until somewhere in the 2000s through the Bain Group. It was the first time I'd ever heard of
I
challenge
saw them in the 80s,
Mhm.
but they were very small. You had to be, I think the most widespread one I saw was Pathfinder School had a challenge coin. If you went to Pathfinder School, which was in the 80s, was a fairly hard class. if you went to Pathfinder school, you got a challenge coin.
I'm just saying that in the late 70s, early 80s, if you were a normal unit,
Yeah,
you
no.
never heard of
You
it.
never saw them. Yeah, we didn't get
in
them.
the 80s. You didn't see. Yes, special forces groups had challenge coins.
Yeah, John Arpin makes a good point. Said individual challenge coins are a bit of a cult of personality.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't. I've had somebody offer me one. Now, outside the military,
Yeah.
like your challenge coins, I love your challenge coins, and Rob Hampson's challenge coins. Those
Yeah.
are great, but I also don't use them for coin checks.
Yeah.
If somebody slaps, coin check, and somebody slaps down a coin from Admiral Huzmaguzit of St. Pack, it's like, are you kidding me?
Mhm.
Yeah.
No,
I got
no.
a couple of those.
The cool thing about challenge coins is if you have children, they make great pirate treasure.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
There, I have toy boxes stored away somewhere that have all my challenge coins in them.
Yeah.
Except for like 2 that I kept for sentimental reasons.
I know John says he doesn't like personal ones, but that's the one I did for.
But also-
Actually, was originally done as a business card
Mhm.
because we were supporting Warrior Chips, which had been started by a medically retired Marine gunny sergeant, and he was just getting off the ground.
Mhm.
And a bunch of us went in and got these things to support him. But I use them for my blog and as a writer.
Mhm.
It's just a little something to give folks.
It makes you stand out in
Yeah.
people's heads. Real quick, Tom, what books you got coming up?
None. I'm working on a few, but I don't have anything ready yet.
Okay, when will you have one out?
Oh, I was supposed to have one by now. So
Yeah.
unfortunately, life has occurred. So
Ben, any books coming out?
No, I'm still trying to get through a short story.
Okay.
Reagan, any books coming out?
Me, no. Him, yeah.
When?
Whenever.
He's got 6 in the hopper.
Okay,
I'm trying to get one out a month.
okay.
Huh?
He's also working on publishing his late brother's Western.
Oh, well done.
Oh, neat.
Very cool.
So names. So we're trying to name names or titles of the books.
I'm still working on using working titles on most of them.
Okay.
Okay, well, keep us apprised. Wallbanger, anything books coming out?
Space, the Space Marine, and then the Sparkle series, and then I'm still really newbie at this, so I'm really just plotting out. I have a concept that I think is going to become a high fantasy novel, but we're still in the very proto stages.
We all started somewhere.
Yep.
Butt in chair, hands on keyboard.
Mikado's
Oh.
Sparkle is interesting.
As long as Sparkle goes down in flames, I'm happy.
Well, Sparkle is every doofus that Rodney ever had to deal with in the military.
All rolled up into one.
Yep.
I like it.
And there's 1 or 2 of them around.
Yeah.
Mutiny on Spurgle Station.
Yeah.
You know, one super squad.
I don't want Sparkle to have done something worthy of getting a station named after him.
Courtney?
Postcards anthologies coming out this weekend. What's next weekend? Next week is Law Dog, and then the weekend after that is Space Marines, and then I think we've got Pinup Noir after that. Somewhere in there, I will finish the Werewolf Romance I'm working on, and the next book in the Alien Bride series. I'm actually going away to
Have a little writing
have
retreat.
Sir
unnamed
Brass
location
says,
for a month to actually finish.
says
things,
Spurgle
so.
will go down something at least.
Yes.
Postcards opens tomorrow.
Yes, Postcards from Fools opens tomorrow. So we
Is that the actual title, or is it just a
Yeah.
working title?
working title for now.
Postcards from Fools is the working title.
Well,
Okay. 'Cause
What about you, Cedar?
Steam powered postcards on Friday, tomorrow.
Mhm.
And I've got short stories in a couple of upcoming anthologies. Nothing else right now.
Yeah, I'm still beating on the next Rim World. About 50,000 words. So I'm over halfway there.
So Space Marines 2 closes on the 30th of this month. So
Right.
Mm.
So if you're writing a Space Marine story, Get it in. Get it
That's
done.
what I need to
Get it to me.
finish.
Yes. Yes. Oh, that.
I tried to get a draft ready to pass around this weekend, and it just did not happen.
It's okay.
It's right.
Yeah.
It happens. Quite frankly, I'm not working this weekend, so if you handed it to me, it would have
There
been
you
like,
go.
Tom, you gonna give me a Space Marine story?
so
We are drinking
Maybe.
excessively. That's what we're doing.
that's the plan.
Well, if you're going to pass around drafts this weekend, I would recommend
Oh, yes, go to the back in the
something
corner.
like Newcastle
Guinness?
Brown Ale.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pilsner. Pilsner.
Like I said,
Nice
I
house.
brought contributions.
I appreciate that.
You don't make the Hajj without the appropriate.
Okay, I'm going to be very, very, very blunt. Did anybody bring anything to mix the booze with?
See, I already asked for mixers.
I'm picking that stuff up tomorrow.
Because everybody's bringing the booze, nobody's bringing the vermouth.
Why would you ruin perfectly good booze with a mixer?
Because
Because
some
some
of
of
us,
Valid question.
some of us don't want to wind up with 13 more anthologies in the hopper. That's
Some of us
why.
would like to maintain our liver for the next.
Did you
couple
bring your
of
magic
years.
red solo cup?
Romantic little reds.
Yeah.
The
We
little
know all
ones.
about those, don't we?
Oh yeah.
And on that note, folks, we're
okay, For
done.
those of you who don't know what the magic solo cup,
It's a little
that
teeny-
guy right there and Tully Roberts were looking at me big-eyed while I was telling stories at Fool's Con and giving me the whole big-eyed look as somebody else giggling in the background was handing me red solo cups that looked just like the first one that kept having booze in it.
That Tullamore Dew is real smooth, isn't it?
I have no
Is that
idea
where
who
the
you're
first
talking about.
anthology
Oh,
came
yeah.
from?
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, I was so drunk.
Every time I would take a little sip off a taster of mine, and his would be empty, and I just switch them out.
Oh, yeah.
I just kept going.
And Tom and Tully were going, "Tell us more." So I wasn't paying attention.
Look over here. Look over here.
Yep.
We had this all worked out.
Oh yeah. It's amazing when a plan comes together.
Oh,
So if he's hung over on Tuesday, you'll know why. All right, folks, have a good weekend. We will do our best to get something up from Fool's Con. I'm not sure what it'll be. Probably.
A flag.
But a white or a pirate flag.
Maybe a request for bail money. We are not sure.
We've crowdfunded those things before.
Oh yeah.
Get
I
Belle
would
out
like
of the van.
to thank everybody that came in. Tom,
Good to see y'all.
everybody.
Ben, Lawbanger,
Gallery.
Reagan, all of y'all. Appreciate it. Yeah, we'll see you tomorrow, Greg. Freeman, good. We'll be looking forward to seeing you and Julie. So remember, folks, don't sweat the petty stuff. Don't pet the sweaty stuff.
Be safe, guys.
Have a good weekend and be safe. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
So,
Yeah, this one.